Hey, what's up guys? I hope you're doing well. In today's video, I want to talk about time management. I recently downloaded a PDF file, which was basically a PowerPoint outline of one of Brian Tracy's new books entitled Eat That Frog, 21 Great Ways to Stop Procrastinating and to Do More in Less Time. And on one of the first slides, there's a long quote from Brian Tracy, which for those of you who don't know, he is a prolific author on, millions of different things. Business growth, time management, personal success. Just give him a quick Google search. A lot of great reads. Anyway, at the beginning of the PowerPoint, there was, which I'll put a link in the description to, there was a long quote by Brian Tracy. And the first sentence really stuck out to me, and that was that time management is life management. Now, I'd like to preface that quote with an idea about time as a commodity. I remember hearing this somewhere, that time is the only real commodity. And I never really understood the importance of that until reading this quote by Brian Tracy. So the thing to realize is that any commodity we see being bought, sold, or trade throughout the world, they're all representations of time. When you sell a book, you're really selling the amount of time that you invested into that book, the amount of time you invested accumulating that knowledge or that research, and then the time it took for you to write it and send it out. Same thing when you offer a service. What you're really doing is charging people for the time that you're giving to them for that service, right? So all these things are representations of time. So why is time that important? Why is time the only real commodity, right? It's because time is, it's how we measure life. Time is how we measure the infinite progress of life, right? The infinite progress of existence. The past, the present, and the future. We measure it with time. And the reason it's so valuable, the reason time is the only commodity is because of its value. And the reason it's so valuable for us as individuals is because we only have an indefinite slice of life. We don't know how long we're going to be here. It could be 5 more minutes or 50 more years. We have no idea. So imagine time, right? This infinite span of time. It continues on forever in one direction and forever in the next direction. And all we're given as individuals is a little slice of that infinite piece. We're given an indefinite slice of the infinite. That is our existence. That is why time is the only real commodity, because it's so valuable. It's basically our life. It's how we measure our life. And so what Brian Tracy means when he says time management is life management, when you figure out how to manage your time, you figure out how to manage your life, right? So I want to invite you guys to do something. Every time you engage in any activity or any time you spend with somebody, anything you do in your life, I want you to imagine it's a transaction. I want you to imagine you are turning in a little slice of your indefinite amount of time, right? Let's say you want to sit down for 2 hours and watch a movie. Imagine a transaction between you and death. A transaction between you and death, right? The man who will decide your fate. The man who will decide when you leave this earth. Imagine you're speaking with death and you say, I'm going to turn in 2 hours of my indefinite amount of time on this earth to watch this movie, right? Because that's what it is. It's a commodity. You're trading your time in order to receive something, watching the movie, or what have you, right? This is just an example. And I think this is a great way for us to be able to maintain the comprehension of how fragile and how indefinite our time in this world is. Because, guys, the reality is when you waste your time, you're wasting your life. That's the bottom line. I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying don't goof off. But be aware of what you're doing. Be aware of how you're spending your time. Be aware of how you're spending the only real commodity on earth. Right? Just be aware of that. And a great way to do that is imagine it as a transaction. You're turning this amount of time in to receive this. And if it's a just transaction to you, if it's worth it to you, by all means, go for it. Right? I'm not telling you how to spend your time. I'm trying to impress upon you how valuable time is in your life. And how that, like Brian Tracy says, if you can manage your time, you can manage your life. So the biggest takeaway, guys, is look at yourself, be self-reflective, and see where you're spending your time. See where you are spending the only real commodity you have. And see if it's worth it to you. See if you're getting a return on your investment of time that's worth it to you, right? How is it helping you accomplish your dreams or build the life you want? How is it helping you, right? Because if we can get in control of the only commodity we have, which is time, if we can control how we spend that commodity, then we figured out how to essentially manage our life. That's it, guys. Take it easy.